Thank you, Tyler. Lastly, in our first round of speakers is Sydney Ferriera-Hamilton. Sydney is a fourth-year student from Palm Beach County, Florida, pursuing a biobehavioral health degree on a pre-med track at Penn State University. She currently serves as the president of the Penn State chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, an organization dedicated to advocating for racial equality and social justice. Additionally, Sydney holds the position of Women in NAACP Chair for the Pennsylvania State Conference for NAACP Youth and Collegiate Chapters, where she serves as a resource for every youth and college chapter in the state of Pennsylvania. She has also contributed to the university community through her service as the event coordinator for the Eminence Modeling Troupe, evening celebration co-coordinator for the MLK Day of Service, previous co-experience chair for Caribbean Student Association, and former juvenile justice chair and second vice president for the NAACP. Sydney will be speaking about bridging the gap between white and black organizations, as well as addressing issues of self-segregation. She looks forward to sharing her lived experience and engaging with the community. She has worked to serve throughout her college career.
Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? Y'all having a good night? Awesome. So, when we think about Penn State, we often hear the chant, "We are." It's a phrase that signifies unity and pride and something that connects us all, no matter our background. But in my experience here at Penn State, that phrase doesn't always reflect the reality of what I see, especially when it comes to the interactions between different groups. My name is Sydney Ferriera, and I'm a fourth-year student here at Penn State. I currently serve as the president of the NAACP Penn State chapter here, and I spent much of my time working to build relationships across our diverse community. But I'll be honest, I've questioned that unity. As a black student at a predominantly white institution, there have been moments where I felt like I'm not truly part of the community, even though I'm physically here. I remember reflecting on the words of Dr. Beverly Tatum, former president of Spelman College, when I had the honor of meeting her and discussing her book, "Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria?" She asked the question of why black students tend to gravitate towards each other in schools, and it made me question, why are all the black students here at Penn State sitting together in the Paul Robeson Cultural Center? For those who might not be familiar, the PRCC is a space where black students and other students of color can find support, community, and a sense of belonging. It's meant to be a safe space, but it's also become a place where I've noticed we, as black students, often remain safe. Safe, but separated. And while the separation isn't something we actively choose, it highlights the need for more engagement between our diverse groups. Engagement, truly engaging with those from other backgrounds, isn't just about crossing the physical space from one group to another. It's about making a genuine connection. And the truth is, while we often find comfort in spaces where we're surrounded by people who share our experiences, it also means we miss the opportunity to engage with those who would benefit from understanding our stories and challenges. Now, this isn't about placing blame, it's about acknowledging a reality. For students of color here at Penn State, finding people who truly understand us can be difficult. And that's okay. We need our spaces like the PRCC to regroup and to be seen. But in those spaces, we often forget that the people who need to hear our stories the most are those outside those circles, who have never had to consider race or inequality in the same way. It can be isolating to be avoided or worse, ostracized. As a black woman, sometimes I'm the only one in classes, at an event, or even in a conversation. You're forced to explain why you belong, not just in a classroom or event, but here at Penn State. And to justify your belonging, that can be really exhausting. But through my time here, I've learned that the answer isn't isolation, it's connection. And that's what engagement is truly about, creating connections across the divides, even if you have to break through them. As you all know, being involved in campus, the semester is coming to a close, and we as student leaders, some of us are graduating and stepping down, and talks of elections are coming up. And a question that everyone is asking me is what makes a leader? Leadership, too, is about engagement. It's not about title or status. It's about presenting, listening, and stepping into uncomfortable spaces with the intent to understand. As president of the NAACP, I've learned that leadership is built on relationships. Relationships with people who may not share my exact experiences, but who are open to listening and engaging with them. Through these relationships, we learn from one another, and ultimately, we grow together. Now, I'm going to challenge all of you today. I'm asking you to engage in something super simple but powerful. Make a new friend. Not just any friend, but someone who doesn't look like you, who doesn't share your background, and who hasn't had the same life experiences. Take the time to engage with someone who could teach you something you don't know yet. A conversation, a meal, a chance to learn from each other, these small actions can lead to monumental change. I remember the first time I made a friend who was completely different from me. At first, we barely had anything in common. But as we talked, we engaged with each other's lives, we started to see the world from one another's perspectives. Through that friendship, I was able to feel heard and understood, and they were able to see life through a different lens. That engagement wasn't instantaneous, but it was the beginning of something transformative. Imagine if everyone here at Penn State made a commitment to engage with someone from a different background. Our chant could mean so much more to us than something we sing at football games or say when passing alumni in the airport. It should be a true reflection of our community, one that includes everyone in every space. We could build a campus where we are doesn't just mean that we belong as individuals, but we truly belong to one another. We should be living the unity that we chant about, not just as individuals, but as a collective, engaged community. So I challenge you to take that first step today. Reach out to someone you don't know. I see you're all sitting at tables, so that's perfect. And ask them about their experiences. Listen to their story and make a connection. It might feel awkward at first, but that discomfort is often the first sign and first step towards building a truly engaged and inclusive community. And here's my final action item for Penn State and every leader in this room, because I see a lot of them. We need to create more structured opportunities for students from different backgrounds to engage with one another, much like this event. I propose that Penn State organize regular events or programs where specifically aiming at fostering cross-cultural friendships where students can meet, share, and learn from each other in a relaxed setting outside of their comfort zones. This would be an intentional step forward, making our campus more united, not just in spirit, but in practice. If we all commit to this, we can create a Penn State where we don't just coexist, we thrive together. A place where every student, regardless of their race or background, feels that they are truly part of a unified community. The change starts with us. So will you guys take the first step? Thank you.